何かおこま背中私よっしゃ戦場と台所どっちにお呼びだ。人は強し飯はうまし。もつ炒めでもどうだ。
Okay, so I want to level my Penhu, which is a tank, I'm pretty sure. So let's add some more of those. Because he works really well, supposedly, with Yishuan. So I've been using, like, Trigger, simply because she just provides more stun. Some off-field stun, and she's supposed to be there for... Oh, I have to double check. Because like he's supposed to boost her sheer damage output, so I'm curious what that is, and like how. Because I know you're supposed to do your EX special to do it, but like specifically, how are you supposed like? And it's like basically his attack. So you want to like stack him with attack, but like how long does it last? You know, like I see he has like 3 little dots below his health bar, so like it seems to have something to do with that, but like it's kind of hard to tell specifically. Oh, okay, this is one of those. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I fucked up and used my energy too early. I used my... But... yeah, because like you do his EX special and it triggers the quick assist so you can get back to Yishuan, but like, how long does it last? It's like, I mean, to be fair, I could just look it up. It's not super hard to do, but I haven't yet because I haven't leveled him up. Like I don't have a drive set for him, and it's like I don't even think I have like his best in slot. I was like looking through all the shit I had, and like I had nothing. This guy is bad. So like, and he's not even like max level, so it's like you gotta get him to max level. His drive sets are his W engine is not maxed out. I don't have his drive set. Now he should be a relatively easy one to build because I think 4, 5, and 6 slots of his drive set just need to be attack percent. So it's it's not one of the valuable ones. You know, it's not like 6 where, I mean, 6 actually is a little more annoying because 6 does have a lot of people who use attack percent in that spot. So there's a lot of contention for it. But it's also not impact or energy regen, which is a rare main stat for slot 6. Whereas for 4, you want really crit damage, crit rate, or anomaly mastery or proficiency. I forget which one is down there. That's what you want. And not surprisingly, they make them rare to get, which is fucking annoying. Bill. Oh, fuck. I'm still 1 short. God damn it. Okay, so I need to do 1 more run. I could fill and max him out. But either way, like, you want him with this set. You want him with that set and that. Although I did actually. Oh fuck! There's an event I forgot too as well for double drives. So proficiency. So proficiency is slot 4. So proficiency, it's crit rate, crit damage are like the big things. Now Astra also uses attack. She's a pure support. But it just sucks because I think I threw away a bunch of stuff because it was like, oh, well, it's not that. It's not. So, like, it's useless. But the problem is I'm not getting any of the. All the other ones are like, yeah, they don't have the main stat I need. Oh, actually, this one actually does. But like, she has. Oh, whatever. I'll give you that. It's the main stat. Oh, actually. Well, that's actually worse. Okay. And yeah, like in the few runs I've done, I just haven't gotten good substat rolls. I guess this is fine, I guess. Ideally, you kind of also want attack percent. But yeah, so I haven't really been doing it a lot. Oh, it's also... Okay, so it seems like both of them are probably missing. In fact, I had to use conversion gain just to get to it. I used up the remainder of that. So I need to do basically 1 more run of the attack one more run of the character level, and 2 more runs of the W engine. And then we can see how he's supposed to work. Shit. Something came up. Let me just review it real quick. Actually, never mind. I misread that. Okay. So yeah, so I need a few more runs of him, and then I haven't built him at all. Like even she's missing a few things. Well, she's not missing much actually. She just needs. I want to level this up a little bit. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's not nearly enough. I would get 5, and then I would need another 10. But I want to max that out, because these are all her kind of like recommended ones. Or the priority ones are already maxed out. But like the second priority is like, well, she's a main online DPS type, and that is her dodge and her dodge counter. And because she gets adrenaline from dodge countering, it's better to have that leveled as high as you can. Plus, I think her... Oh, wait, maybe not. No, okay, never mind. It's in here where you have to hold down. Dodge Nimbus stuff. Yeah, okay, so the damage for that holding the dodge button, weirdly enough, is here, because it's considered a basic attack. Okay, yeah, whatever. But either way, I still want to level this up as much as I can. But that's beside the point, because I still need to level him and get his stuff leveled as well. So he needs more of that weekly boss, more of that non-weekly boss, so I have to farm his mats a little bit more. Oh, actually, yeah, what's his upgrade priorities? So it's first. Okay, so EX Special is, well, these Powerful Strike, gain 300 of Break Force. Okay. It's your first bonus from the core passive. Oh, okay. Okay. So basically, he does his EX Special, and those little 3 points are just, even when you swap out, he stays on the field to continue to do damage. Which is fine. So damage. Okay, that's kind of cool. And what's the... And so it seems like it's... So, Sheer Force boost of a portion of his main attack, which goes up to 18%. 25 seconds. Okay, so it lasts for a while then. So 18% of his attack and cannot exceed 540 points. Okay, so I think... so basically that's like... You need like 3,000 attack or somewhere around there. Because like 20% of 300 or 10% of the 3,000 is 300. So 20% would be 600. And minus 2% would be minus 60. So yeah, exactly. 3,000. So you want to get his attack to 3,000. If you can get his initial attack to 3,000, you can get his attack to 3,000. Oops. If I can get that attack stat to 3,000, then I'll give the max sheer force bonus for her. So I guess it would add another... sheer force would go up to 3,100, which is pretty good. Now, she doesn't have the best stats. She's still pretty good, because she has her W engine will add 20% crit rate to her. So it brings you up to 73%, which is still pretty good. But I just didn't get as many crit damage and crit rate rolls, so it's like, what can you do? Okay, so yeah, I gotta go do those other things as well. I'm not gonna do it now. I want to focus on the event, because the event is time-based. Actually, realistically, that's time-based too, right? Do they have a time? Yeah, I have 25 days to do it. But I haven't done this at all. Which has the same amount of time, but this is easier to do, and I'm not even sure. Well, I think it's easier to do. I haven't tried it at all. So I am in no way sure what this is. So 3 agents. So the fact that it requires agents means there must be some combat involved, I guess. But... Oh, I don't need all. I can even be missing 2 at this point. Now, for the soup one, that's silly of me. It's super easy to get soup. It's dirt cheap, and also just provides a flat bonus. So it's like it's good to get, but like I don't really need it. It's the kind of thing I really honestly should consider before doing my weekly bosses. Just go and okay, so I have not done this at all. I think I just opened it, and I didn't even talk to her even to open it. So let's see what the hell this event is about.
私はグラビティシアターは本日より一部客席をリニューアルし、お客先着100名様にまた
今後はどないな映画も 10% オフになるし、週に1回は無料で見れるんやって。こないなチャンス見逃すやなんてもったいあらへん。先着100名様、今からうちが52番やったさかい。
一緒に映画を見ない？
ほな、うちの後ろに並んでおくれやす。それ
まだ決められてないんだよ。
うちも。
本日はどの映画をご覧になりますか？
Oh, I see. So that's what they mean by agents. Basically, I have to invite a bunch of agents to the premiere and then chat with them in a way. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think they've ever done something like this. Well, actually, no, technically, Genshin kind of did that with the Hangout events, because you do need to you do have kind of like a visual novel chat dialogue tree, and your decisions you make can go off in branching paths and affect their mood. But still, I think it's an interesting thing.
「ゲームセンターに来る子らがようこの映画の話するさかい気になっててん。面白いお友達よね。それだけ魅力があるってことやね。ますます気になるわ。なるほど。ええんや。あの子らが真似してたセリフも興味あるし。
That's actually kind of tough.
君のお友達みたいに。
Like, there's really not many context clues for that. I don't like that, because obviously the fact that you can play back means that it's like, oh, you made the wrong choice. You can go back and redo it. But at the same time, it's like, I do wish they had enough context clues within the whole thing to be like, oh, okay, this is the correct answer. You know, like, oh, based on what she said leading up to this, this will be the better one.
どうしたん？眉間にシワ寄せて。なんか悩み事？うちにそない気使わねえよ。
See, like, that actually provided you context clues, right? Now, I mean, I would say context clues, sure, but realistically, what it did was just literally tell you what to say, tell her the truth, and one of those answers was the truth. So it's like, that's a little too on the nose, but, But yeah, if there was a little like, if there were like just slight subtle hint, more subtle hints. Like if the hint's a little too direct, I think I would prefer something a little more subtle. But generally, I mean, that's fine, right? You know what the correct answer is if you've been paying attention. And that's kind of like what I want for the puzzles like this. Like, yeah, if you've been paying attention and keeping an eye out, and, you know, you can deduce these issues.
こら珍しいわ。みんなで応援して。君はせえへんの？
Yeah, I think because you said rare movie experience, I think we're supposed to. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay.
さっきの君、まるで本物のスターライトナイトやったよ。
So, like, yeah, even without that not so subtle hint, I think the previous one was a good enough subtle hint. You know, where she's like, oh, hey, you know, you want the, So I was going to shout out because it did seem like she wanted us to do it, but then they literally say she wants us to do it. So I'm like, okay, well. But I mean, this is the first one, and so they could have just made this one super easy and made the hints a little more on the nose, just so that you understand what's going on.
個性的な映画やった。子供らにぴったりやわ。 まあまあかな。うん。純粋やと思うたわ。見れてよかったわ。うちに来る子らとの話題が増えた。
I think they spaced the pacing of the lines a little too far. I think they wanted to give you enough time to like react for a lot of this stuff, and so they've like put in unnatural gaps. You know, they put in unnatural gaps between the dialogue. She like, and I don't know if it's maybe her dialogue too. Like, maybe she just normally speaks this slowly. So it's hard to tell. But then there are like these weird gaps in between lines like this. It's like she says this, waits 10 seconds, then you say something. It's like, it feels unnatural. Yeah, so I think actually that was a better hint. It didn't explicitly say, you know, because both related to the kids. But this one was like, yeah, it's because she gets to play with them. I'll just watch them, or I forget what the last line was. The choice was, but it was like, yeah, so like you use the hints to just, you know, get it. So I think, because like this makes it a puzzle game, right? And I do like how you have to use logic to be like, oh, okay, logically, based on what she said before, it's hinting towards this answer. Now, the problem with logic games is simply because you're using your logic to try to interpret some other people's lines, and there definitely are instances where your logic doesn't really match up. Where your logic just doesn't match up. Where they're like, oh, they think this. Like, they think like this way. Because I've had, like, I remember playing Phoenix Wright, and like there was an instance in Phoenix Wright where I'm like, oh, well, I should be able to use this. This proves them, like, this shows that they were wrong, right? This proves them a liar. And I try to present some evidence, and the judge shoots me down and says no. And it's like, what? Like, this disproves it. But because the game is like, no, you're not using that yet. You will need to dig deeper into this line, then present this other piece of evidence, and then later you present the evidence that, you know, overturns them. And for me, I'm like, well, I feel like what he said just now contradicts this piece of evidence right now, you know. But the game's like, nope. Because obviously in that game, it's like, no, you have to use specific items at specific moments. And you know, they write it so that it should flow more naturally. But for one instance, there was like, well, you seem to have two pieces of evidence that can prove this one statement false. So you run into stuff like that. So it's fine. Realistically, what it really needs is just a good writer. If you're a bad writer, then usually you're more. It's not that you're more illogical, but usually if you're a bad writer, the writing itself will be less logical, more illogical, because you're just like, oh, I'm not gonna be, because like what matters most is consistency, and you have to be like, okay, if you make the setting like this, you have to follow through on it. And Wuthering Waves fucks that up a lot, where they make a setting and then like forget about that setting and say things that contradict the setting, and you're just like, are you not paying attention to your own writing? Like, it's these inconsistencies that make the story less logical. And they're able to write some interesting moments, and that's fine. But the problem is, it's just that, you know, they're still able to do some good moments, and that's how they're able to carry it, essentially. Where it's like, yeah, our normal everyday writing is kind of shit, because it's how inconsistent we are with writing the story. But we have these really grand, cool moments that make people like, ooh, wow, and kind of forget how bad we are at writing everyday stuff. But it gets tough, especially for like these games, because these games hinge on their logic. Whereas like Wuthering Waves just hinges on action combat, so as long as they do that well, yeah, who gives a shit, right? For the most part. But games like this, well, not games like this specifically, not Zenless Zone Zero, but like puzzle games and like visual novel type games, like Phoenix Wright and Professor Layton, you know, heavily rely on logic, and you can run into the trap where you're just, what you seems logical for you might not be, you know, what's logical for the developers. So you kind of have to get the, you have to kind of understand the developer's mentality, which can be rough if it's too disparate from your own. So like that's why you have those riddles, you know, like the whole Sphinx riddles, like, oh, walks in 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the day, 3 legs at night, and you're like, oh, it's man. It's like, yeah, but like, it's so weird, right? Because the whole day cycle is basically the lifetime of a man, right? So you have to use that as a metaphor. You're like, oh, well, day must mean, you know, a life cycle, and what animals have a life cycle like that, you know? And it's just like, what? Like, because like you already have to make the assumption that the day part means the life cycle, and then you're like, oh, okay. Well, then here's an animal like man does that because you crawl on 4 legs, grow up and walk, and then as you get older, you need a cane, right? But to be fair, not everyone needs a cane, and nowadays we don't have canes that are just a simple stick. You have like those walkers, which, I mean, you could argue now you're a 6-legged man, because the walkers usually have 4 legs themselves, plus your own 2. So it's like, you know, it heavily relies on you understanding the person who developed the riddle mentality. And that's why I just generally don't like riddles, is because usually riddles are like steeped in metaphor and assumptions. And it's just like, if you don't know what the person who made the riddle is assuming, and which parts of the riddle are a metaphor, and what it's a metaphor for, you're pretty much fucked most of the time. Usually, the only way to succeed is you have a really like, I'm more rigid-minded, so it's like I can't think outside the box too well. So when it comes to like deciphering what portions of the riddle were a metaphor and what it's a metaphor for, I'm just not good at that kind of stuff, you know. So, and yeah, I just don't like riddles like that. That's why I definitely like games like Phoenix Wright, where it's like, you know, it's heavily regimented, where it's like, yeah, you have to use this one item at this one spot, and we've written it so it should make logical sense for you to use that item at that spot. So it's more intuitive, right? It doesn't force you to like break it down into a million parts to dissect and determine it. So, pose. How do I change your pose? Oh, I see. Yeah. She was saying, "Hey, what do I pose?" But I thought it'd be like a selection where it's like, "Oh, here's a few poses you can pick for her," but it's like, "Nah, it's just her normal poses." Oh, interesting. So this one, it seems like we're not going in with a person. We're going in just by ourselves. Let's see. So our thoughts. Lazy lady. Look at the screenshot. Screenshot is in Chinese. They either didn't get a screenshot of it in English, or they did, but linked to the wrong one as part of the tutorial. Okay, so you don't use the inside buttons, it's just the outside buttons on for your thumbs, okay? Oh, so just have more thoughts, that's it? More thoughts equals more appreciation. Oh, I see, I have to double tap them. I see. I wasn't paying attention to that part. I noticed one stayed on, I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. I see. So it's kind of like a rhythm game in a way. But yeah, my max combo was I didn't really, I missed a few because I wasn't double tapping for some. And if I did it again, I could obviously do better, but.
本日はどの映画をご覧になりますか？
I wonder what happened if I took them to a movie they didn't want to see. Would we just not get dialogue choices and it would just end? Or would they have separate dialogue choices? Oh, I see. So you get a little bonus. So basically, you can't get S rank if you take her to the wrong movie. You still get some dialogue choices, probably, but just different ones. Maybe.
なるほど。私の勘違いだったか。
Yeah, so like it went because I started halfway up that gauge because I chose the right movie. So I am curious what the choices would be. I assume they would have had to written something for every single one, and not just have these ones because this wouldn't make sense if you took her to the Starlight Night one. Although, and yeah, it would have to be different than Asha's one too, because like obviously they care about different things. It is tempting. Curious on what it would be.
すまない。鑑賞の邪魔になったか。一般人がフォローで安全に子供を探す方法推奨しない。そもそもそれがだが母親に
Ah, shit. So I fucked up. It was the first one. Yeah, it's tough because both of them are like, yes, you're trying to inquire about them. I was thinking the first one might be the better one, but I'm like, well, maybe we should try to like not be as direct. But I guess not. No, you should be direct. But that one's kind of tough, right? Because it's like nothing about the hints kind of let us know what we should pick. Because both of like she's like because both of them was like, oh, okay, crap, you know.
母親にとってはこの目で見たものが真実。あの子もまだ私を信じてくれている。あの子の鼓動が穏やかに私なら見つけ出せると信じてくれているのも。
So yeah, I'll have to come back and do this again.
あの母親、彼女は過去己の知恵と知ゆえにかんふういや、むしろ連れてきてくれて
Oh,
感謝
maybe
して
not.
い
Did
る。
I pick the right one the first way? Or it does not really matter. I thought it didn't get a full bar because I picked the wrong one. So I was like, oh, maybe it's half bar if you pick it. Maybe you get part of a bar no matter what. But it's like a half bar if you choose the wrong one, full bar if you get the right one. But now I'm here. Or maybe they do give you some leeway where you only need to get 2 of the 3 correct.
過去とは
Or I guess 3 of the 4 correct.
お前らしい。実、母親の共に見てくれて感謝する。そ
I thought they'd have to do the circuitry type one where you have to get the blue and green energy to a battery or something. But I guess they're trying to make use of the new puzzle that they've invented. Which doesn't really make sense because what we did was supposed to be analogous with like ether purification, where it's like, oh, okay, we need to purify miasma or stuff like that. We do something similar. But it's like, that seems kind of weird that we do that same thing, which is like, because it's like it's basically synonymous with using our new powers, but it's like I don't see how using our new powers with ether would help the Bangbu, right? Like it's a purely mechanical failure here. Okay, so... Oh wow, I got level 5 that quickly? Oh, I see, so this should go up in like... Oh no, it is... It did go up in small portions. Oh, that's weird. So... Oh... Oh, I haven't done any of that shit. Okay, cool. Okay, so of the stuff I've done... Okay, so... Basically, there's going to be 6 total. And you get... Wait. Okay, yeah, so you get... There's 6 total. And you get bonuses for doing them. Each of 6, no matter what you get. And then there's bonuses for doing well in them. And... fellow movie fan. I thought, didn't we get it for Rasha, or did I fuck up? Or do I have to be perfect? Did I fuck up with Miyabi? Or is she different? 6 agents, though. And these have 2. Wait. Oh, wait, no, these only have 1, so maybe Asha didn't count. And then... yeah, so this one... 12 S ranks. Everything seemed to be... Interesting. Whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and call it with that. It's been about an hour, so I'm going to chill. But now I kind of know what this event's about. So it's definitely more of a chill event. I saw there were agents, so I was like, oh, do we have to fight? Is it going to be like we're going to help film it or something? But no, it's purely just a fun little... I do like when they do a variety of events. So it's like, yeah, because that's what kind of gets is a little rough with Wuthering Waves, is that it's just so heavily combat focused, which, makes sense. The game's all about its combat. But it's just like everything involves combat. Like, oh, you want to do exploration? Okay, well, there's a lot of combat involved with that. Beyond just the simple, you have to fight enemies while you're going out of battle. It's like, no, we put actual combat events and stuff. It's like, great, awesome. So, it's just too much is involved, and it'd be nice if there was like segmented portions of it. It's like, oh yeah, you want to do combat? Okay, well here's the place to go do that. You want to just have a nice relaxing time? Here's the place to do that. And I think this game does strike a good balance between that, where it's like, yeah, there's a lot of combat events, but if you don't want to engage with that shit, you don't have to. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.